Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, I am back with a new project, and today in this project we are going to create a smooth line chart with dots that's showing how the numbers of visitors change from Monday to Sunday. Here we display number of visitors of a website according to this week, and you can see day by day it increases and decreases, and according to the value it creates a short line. Also you can notice the markers. So this is what we are going to build today in this project. So let's start the practical. As you can see side by side, I opened my Visual Studio Code editor and my browser using LiveServer extension, and I already created an HTML document named index.html. And here inside the head section you can see I already used the CDN link of the plotty.js. And in our body tag we create the div tag where we are going to show the graph. At first we need to take a script tag. So I'm type script. Then inside the script tag, at first we need to prepare the data that's going to show in our graph. So at first I'm going to define the name of the list in a week. So I'm going to define a variable const days equal to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Then according to the days I'm going to define the visitor of a website. So I'm going to define const visitor equal to for Monday 120, for Tuesday 200, for Wednesday 150, for Thursday 300, for Friday 250, and for Saturday 400, and for Sunday 380. Now after defining the values we need to create the plot. So here I'm going to type a single line comment, create the plot, and I'm going to type const and our variable name is data equal to, inside the square braces I'm going to use curly braces. Now in our x-axis direction, so I'm going to type x colon, I want to put the day's name. I want to place the day's name. So I'm going to type days variable, days. Then at y-axis I want to place the visitors. After that I'm going to define the mode colon, here I'm going to use the value line and markers. So inside the double quotes I type line and markers. It's going to draw both line and dot each on the point. And the next attribute I'm going to use line colon, and here I'm going to define what type of line I want to use. Suppose if you want smooth line, here you can define the line. Here you can define what kind of line you want to use. You can use sharp angle lines, otherwise smooth lines. But in this example, I would like to go with smooth line. So inside the curly braces, I'm going to define shape colon, and I want to use smooth line. So I'm going to type inside the double quotes sp line comma, and at last I'm going to define the name. And at last we need to define the label name. So we'll type name inside the double quotes visitors and semicolon to end this line. One thing you need to remember, plotty always accepts data inside an array. That's why we need to use these square braces. Now let's jump into the layout. So here I'm going to define the layout. So I'm going to type const layout equal to, inside the curly braces, first I'm going to define the title. Here I'm going to define title website visitor over a week. After that we need to pass the x-axis label. First we set the chart title, then we need to define the label of x-axis as day. So here I'm going to type x-axis inside the curly braces title day. Then in our y-axis label, I want to print the number of visitors and semicolon to end the line. Now after define the data and the layout, let's create the plotty. Let's create the chart. For that we need to type plotty.new plot. Then inside the round braces, at first we need to define the ID. We need to define the div ID, in which div we are going to place the plotty, which is my plot. So I copy the ID name and I'm going to put it here. Then after comma, here I'm going to define the data. After that I'm going to define the layout and semicolon to end this line. Now to save this file, here you can see the result. Here we create lines with markers. And you can notice these lines are soft lines, not hard lines. At x-axis we print the day's name, and at y-axis we print the visitor numbers. And this is our title of this chart, website visitors over a week. And also you can notice the label at x-axis and y-axis. For x-axis we print day, and for y-axis we print number of visitors. So we have smooth line, we have markers. So this is how we can build the smooth line with marker chart. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next project.